Amazing. Hi guys.
Hey there, welcome back. I want to make a video series of us playing Five Nights at Freddy's.
We do not qualify for ad campaign. Welcome back to Babble. Yay!
Hello. Yay.
We're back.
We're back on it together.
Sorry for disappearing for a really long time. I have been so insanely busy. Lucy has been traveling the world still.
Yeah.
That's where we're at.
We're here. We're back. We're here today.
We are. And we have some very exciting stuff. And we have so much stuff planned, too. So, like, even if we're only posting...
I'm so excited about it.
Even if we're only posting, like, once every couple weeks, you best tune in, because it's going to be good.
Trust it's still on our minds. It's still on our minds.
Here's a hint on what's coming up soon. Celebrity couple conspiracies.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be taking everyone back to their 2016 emo phase.
Hey.
And we're going to
especially me, because I need to be educated on that.
Oh, it's so good, and I'm so excited. And if you have a guess of what I'm talking about, let us know. Maybe I'll get a shout out or something. I don't know. I'm so excited. And then we'll be doing another bad book review soon.
Yay. I'm really so excited for that. I'm sad the library hasn't gotten back to me yet.
I read it and absolutely fucking hated it. Oh, sorry. I've been swearing so much.
That's okay.
I hated it so much. I remember I read it in like a day. Because when my mom was teaching middle school, when she was at Oliver, she would come home to me and be like, all my students like really love these books. And you know, it's like younger siblings of people that we went to school with and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'd be like, oh, I have to check them out. And like this one was just absolutely awful. I hated it. So
I feel like I've seen it before, but like never in a serious way.
Everyone seemed to love it. And I mean, this was like teenagers in a middle school classroom, but like even on book talk, I see it from time to time. And I'm like, that was the worst thing.
And here's the thing, you have to be careful with book talk because they'll recommend the worst books you've ever read in your life.
They will. I will say, my little sister who has never read a book in her life has been reading because of Colleen Hoover.
Oh my god, she likes Colleen Hoover?
Oh, she loves Colleen Hoover. Have we not talked about this?
Oh, I think you probably mentioned that. I just thought she would come around eventually.
Well, no, it made
not
her,
liking Colleen Hoover.
Whoa, what did I just say? She read.
She read
It Ends With Us and really liked it. And of course, I had the conversation with her of like, okay, here's why we're not going to idealize abusive relationships.
Yeah.
And whatever. But
and let's not idealize writing letters to Ellen DeGeneres, please.
Yeah, what?
That's weird.
But she really did enjoy it, and she read it in a couple days, which is awesome. Like, I don't know if she's ever read a full book, which is great. Like, it just makes me happy that she's reading.
Yeah.
And then I didn't hear
That's
much
true.
for a while about old Colleen Hoover. And yesterday I got a snap from Caroline of her reading Verity, and she loves it. And honestly, we should read that for the podcast.
That's
too.
the one you read too.
Yeah, and I had mixed feelings.
I remember you telling me a little bit about it. I just remember that the names were wild. She always chooses the crazy names.
I read it in a day. Like, it was I could not put it down.
That's the thing with bad books, though. Or, like, books that are written poorly, but they're, like, very drama-filled.
Like, it was crazy.
They're the easiest to read.
So, we're going to need to read that one, too, because now I need to remember why I liked it, and we need to talk about it.
Okay, I'll put it on my list. I'm reading another book talk book right now.
Which one?
It's the Everything I Know About Love.
Is it good?
I don't like it.
No.
I know. It's like, but to be fair, it's like, it's just very her talking about how much she likes guys. And I don't know. It's just like, she's just describing her wild 20s. And it's just like, I'm finding it very hard to relate to.
Yeah. I thought it would be like female friendships and family love and, you know.
And she's got a little bit of that in there. And those are my favorite chapters. It's just very much like trying to be the quirky author of a memoir.
Yeah.
Which isn't the type of memoir that I like. And I just like
Oh, yawn. Sorry.
I thought something happened. I was like, what?
No, I just yawned. There is a collection of short stories that I've read a few of that I really enjoy. That's called What We Talk About When We Talk About Love.
Okay, I've heard of that before.
By Raymond Carver. Mm-hmm. I've only read a little bit of it, and I actually am looking at it right now. It's in my bookshelf. I'm gonna pull it out and read it today, but I liked it. It's a 1981 collection of short stories, so it's a little outdated, but I don't like. It's interesting.
That's cool. I'll have to check it out. I love a good like short story.
Yeah,
book.
There's like I'm on the internet now. But yeah, the title story, it's a collection of short shorties. Wow, okay. Short shorties.
Short shorties.
Short shotties.
Short shorties. Short shotties.
But the story called What We Talk About When We Talk About Love is like a couples. Sorry guys, I can't talk today. Two couples.
Awesome.
They're like sitting around and they're just talking, and it's just a normal conversation, and like they're talking about love and they're talking about life, and I just like it. It's one of those like it's so real and kind of mundane in the ways life is, and like that's what makes it interesting. Mm-hmm. So I'll get back to you guys on that because I want to read it again. I want to read the rest. So if I come back next week and I'm like, just kidding guys, it was terrible, it's okay. But I remember really liking that.
You'll let us know.
So
yeah, I love a mundane story that's more about character than plot.
Yeah, I will say too, in terms of short stories, I'm reading one right now called 5 Tuesdays in Winter by Lily King. I read her book Writers and Lovers. I really liked it. It's another like kind of mundane life story that I just the writing was beautiful. Like the way she tells stories is incredible. And she lives in Maine. She's a Maine author.
Aw. Local.
Yeah, but no, she's great. I really like her writing. I read a really interesting book that I randomly picked out. I don't like sci-fi at all, and I didn't quite realize that's what I was reading. But I checked out this book at the library called My Murder by Katie Williams. My Murder. And
oh, that's why you picked it out.
Yeah. I read the synopsis a little bit, and I was like, cool, she's trying to solve her own murder. Okay, and like just got it. It's this sci-fi world where like I think it's 5 women. They figured out how to like essentially clone people and bring them back after they die. And they don't do it to everyone. They have to be picky about who they choose. But these 5 women got brought back after being killed by a serial killer. And it's just kind of about like their experience being back in their lives. And then the main character finds out like she actually wasn't murdered by this serial killer. So like who the hell killed her?
That's cool.
It was really interesting, and the world building was really well done. I thought the end was a little bit anticlimactic, but I also like I did enjoy it because I don't like sci-fi, and I totally believed this world. Like everything she said made sense and was not like cheesy.
That's awesome.
I liked it.
That's cool.
So that's a good one.
That's a cool idea.
Yeah. No, I thought it was really well done. I liked it.
Good. That's nice.
I love when we don't talk in a while and then we just get on here and tell everyone like what we've been consuming.
Yeah.
I've been watching Shameless with my roommates.
Okay.
That show is crazy.
Is it?
I think you might like it. It's like
I probably would.
It's
honestly.
a very dark comedy. My roommates have also been
watching.
Go ahead.
I've been watching Modern Family as always, and just so much YouTube.
Yeah.
But I've also watched some movies here and there.
Love it.
What were you saying?
Oh, I was just gonna say my roommates also have been doing what they like to call playing Tinder. Where they get on
that's fun.
Tinder and they swipe and they match with people and then they mess with men.
That's awesome.
And
it's even more awesome when you airplay it to the TV so everyone can join in.
I have seen some stuff. Some of these men are crazy. There's this one who there's this one
never trust a man.
I want you to degrade me. And so we were totally like messing with him. It was like he said it to one of my roommates and she was like, I'm not comfortable doing that. So we gave it to one of my other roommates who like does this constantly just for fun. And so we're all in on it. Like there were 3 or 4 of us all like making fun of this man. Oh. And he gets off on it. Funny. It's wild.
Ew, but then that is so weird.
She keeps leaving him on open and it'll keep coming back like please.
Ew. That gives someone that I know.
Yeah, it's so weird.
Somebody that I used to know.
Oh, my headphones just died.
Well, while Amelia's going to get her other headphones, I guess I'll talk about how I watched Five Nights at Freddy's again the other night, and it was awesome. So, that's what I have to say about that. I also rewatched But I'm a Cheerleader recently. That movie is so funny and also so cute.
Okay, I'm back. We're back.
Okay, we're back.
Sorry, my headphones messed everything up. It's okay.
We're back at this point in time.
I don't know how much we're going to have to cut out. But you talked about watching Five Nights at Freddy's.
We could just restart that whole section. Amelia was telling us about the hit 2016 movie Dirty Grandpa, which I've never heard of.
I think it's like 2019.
It says 2016 here.
Oh, okay.
But it's it has a 10% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah. Did playing Tinder get in? That was before my headphones died.
That was before your headphones, yeah.
Okay, good. That needs to stay.
We gotta make sure we get that in there.
We gotta make sure we talk about like the stupid men. Okay, so I watched Dirty Grandpa with my roommates, which is essentially Robert De Niro, who I'm pretty sure he's in The Godfather. I could be completely wrong about that. He's a very famous actor. Plays Zac Efron's grandfather, and essentially they stumble upon like a college spring break.
Okay.
And it's Dirty Grandpa. Like, it's vile. He's terrible. And he and Aubrey Plaza do hook up multiple times. The grandpa, not Zac Efron.
What?
And it's weird. Yeah, it's weird. So we watched that, and then immediately after that, my roommate puts on, I forget the actual title, but it's the Ted Bundy movie starring Zac Efron. So the switch from Dirty Grandpa to the Ted Bundy movie
was
crazy. I will say the Ted Bundy.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say the Ted Bundy movie was really great, and I do recommend it. Your turn.
Oh, okay. I was just gonna say, can we talk about how Zac Efron? Sorry, I was looking at something that said Jack. Sorry, guys. How Zac Efron has completely changed his face shape and he looks so scary now.
Yeah. Also, he sang multiple times in Dirty Grandpa.
Was it good?
Like Troy Bolton? Yeah.
Oh, I forget he like sang.
He can sing.
I always forget that he was in The Greatest Showman.
I was just gonna say
he was a fine looking, like he was a normal looking guy. Why do you have to go and change his? Yeah. Oh, speaking of, have you seen Iron Claw?
No.
I haven't seen it yet, but I've only heard good things.
Yeah, I want to see that. I was gonna say, have you seen on TikTok the guy who does surgery on people's faces? That one plastic surgeon?
Yeah, who's like actually like completely messed up this woman.
They all look insane.
They look terrifying. Do you know his name?
I don't remember. Here, I can look it up real quick.
But I remember seeing one of those late at night and
terrifying.
Literally, I was so scared. So
literally
sad.
Just searched weird TikTok plastic surgeon. No, it's a guy, isn't it?
I think it is a guy.
Okay.
Oh, Dr. Kim?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, the first thing it says is plastic surgeon is ruining people's faces.
It is crazy. It is so strange. But yeah, one more media update from me. As you guys know, 2 episodes ago, the one with both of us, I forgot you did an episode in between. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't listened to it, but I'm going to.
Oh, that's okay.
What did you talk about? Did you have a topic?
What did I talk about? I think I kind of just chatted, or I can't remember, but I'm so sorry. I'm getting so distracted. Guys, you have to look up Dr. Kim on TikTok. This is terrifying.
You have to. It's so scary.
They look like cat people.
It's really, they look like the cast of the 2020 hit film Cats, or maybe it was 2019.
Wait, why didn't y'all get Dr. Kim on the set? Oh, that's so scary. He's trying to make them look younger and they just look terrifying. That's so sad.
It's so scary.
That is actually the saddest thing. How could you live with yourself after doing that to someone? Oh. Okay, I'm going to stop looking at that. That's making me sad.
Yeah, don't get sad. So I did, literally 3 days after we recorded that episode, I did watch the entirety of The Watcher. It's like 8 episodes on Netflix.
And it's not documentary, it's based off of it, right?
It's not. It is based off of it, yes.
Okay.
So it's not a documentary. It's like based on a true story. So they changed the names and they changed the characters and they add in a bunch of subplots and like weird character things that are going on that like did not happen in real life. But if you know the story, like even just from listening to our episode, like even just based on what I've read about it and have been able to talk about, you can tell that all the characters in that show, you can know exactly who everyone was based off of. Like it was very clear. The letters were almost the same in some instances. The dad goes crazy trying to catch this guy, like he becomes obsessed, like that's on par. And they leave the show unsolved, which I don't know how I feel about that, because they did present multiple what's it called, scenarios of like what it could be,
what could have happened,
like very plausible, like it could have ended with someone, and it didn't. And I think ending it unsolved obviously keeps it true to the real story, because the real story is still unsolved, but also they introduced a bunch of plots and like possibilities and then didn't go with any of them. So that was a little confusing to me, because I was like, if this is going to be based on a true story, you could have picked someone and wrapped it up like for entertainment value or whatever. And also if you're adding in a bunch of stuff for like to add like something to the story, like you can go ahead and follow
with
through
that
on it. But it was good. I do recommend it. Jennifer Coolidge was in it, which is fun. I've been watching her in a lot of stuff lately. But I did like it. It was a good watch. It had its creepy moments. It had its kind of weird, funny moments. Some of the characters reminded me of like the characters in A Series of Unfortunate Events, the show. Just in terms of like the weirdness, you know?
Yeah.
So I like that. That show is so good, by the way. I love that show.
Series of Unfortunate Events.
Yeah, I love Neil Patrick Harris.
The books are so good.
The books are so good.
Like, I loved them as a kid, and anytime anyone would ask me about them, I'd be like, you know, there are 13 books because 13 is the unlucky number, right?
Yeah.
I just love it. I love them.
But yeah, The Watcher was good. If you're in the mood for something, check it out. I'm going back to my roots. I've been watching Monk a lot lately. But yeah,
I've been kind of itching to rewatch Lost lately.
I have too.
Because I'm like,
the podcast I literally keep talking about, Let's Get Haunted. They just did an episode on Malaysian flight, whatever. And then they did another plane one, and they kept making Lost references. I was like, I want to watch it.
I do like. I watched it when I was so young and I don't remember a ton about it. Like I remember like big plot points, but like I just know I know how obsessed I was with it when I was younger, and I know I could go full force into a new obsession with this. So I'm like, do I do it?
I think we should.
Maybe we should.
I think we should do it together.
We should.
Because I liked it a lot. I mean, everyone has their issues with Lost, and it does eventually get to a point where, like, you could tell they didn't know what they were doing, but it had its moments of, like, you couldn't not love it, you know?
Yeah. Me personally, no notes. I ate it up. I was also younger, though, so I might have more notes this time around, but...
Yeah.
I feel like I've seen the first episode, like, maybe 20 times. So I might start with the second episode. Good. It is really good. Really good.
But yeah. Sorry, I yawned again.
Should we get into our topic for today?
I'm so excited. Can we please? I've been telling so many people we're covering this because I'm so excited.
This, guys, the topic for today is something that I just love to chat about. Because
Also...
Go ahead.
Sorry, I will shut up, I promise. But it's a weird true story that we are weirdly close to.
We are strangely, scarily close to it. So
it is weird. Okay, I'm shutting up. Go.
We love cults. We love learning. Them. We love learning about eerie stories. Clearly, I feel like we talk about them all the time and we consume them all the time. This one, however, hits a little bit closer to home in many different ways. So today I'm going to talk about Gwen Shamblin and the Way Down cult, which I know I've talked about it on here before. I know probably everyone listening who's my friend has heard me chat about it because I'm addicted and obsessed with this story. And with Gwen Shamblin, like, I make jokes that we're like best friends and I call her Gwennie and all that, but it actually, like, she terrifies me.
I am gonna let you, I promise, I'm just so pumped. I just had coffee. I promise I will let you tell the story, but everyone, before we begin, go look up Gwen Shamblin. Just look up a picture of her.
I was gonna say, before we start, you need to see a picture of this woman because you have to have her in mind while I'm talking about her. She is like clinically insane. Like, her hair, actually, if you look up young Gwen Shamblin, she's like actually
I don't know if I've ever done that.
Like, when she didn't have the when her hair wasn't like going crazy, like, it looked cute, and I was like, OMG.
That hair is weird to me.
Yeah, I do not know.
She is pretty.
They even say it in the documentary, like, no one, like, everyone thought her hair was crazy, but no one told her about it because who's gonna say that to the cult leader, you know?
Yeah. Did this is jumping ahead again, we can cut it out, but I'm seeing a bunch about how Sarah Paulson plays her in the documentary. Is that real?
Yeah. What? Sarah Paulson?
Yeah.
Actually, maybe, because I know I haven't seen that documentary, or there's a movie that's based off of it, I think.
Oh, okay.
I haven't seen that, but no, but not the one that I watched. Sarah Paulson doesn't play her in that. Although that kind of
get into it now.
That kind of would be they kind of look similar. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah.
So, did you end up watching The Way Down or no?
I did not, but I am planning on it.
Okay.
I just haven't had time. As we all know, my dad is obsessed with it, though.
Yeah. So, and
probably gonna tune in.
Essentially, here are the reasons that drew me into this story, and then I'll like start talking about Gwen Shamblin specifically. I don't know if you guys know this, but I have an eating disorder, and so I just think this I usually get very easily triggered by any talk of food, and I like sure did get triggered watching this, but I'm just like so fascinated by it. I don't know. You'll figure out what this has to do with food in a little bit. Also, here's another thing. She was born and raised in Tennessee, not too far from where Amelia and I grew up. I'll have you know.
Not at all. She had the same, I think she was in, I don't know if she was in my zip code, but she had a Brentwood address.
Yeah.
And I did too.
Absolutely. And thirdly, I'm related to the bitch. So.
Wait. You are?
Are you joking?
Wait, you're related? Wait, did I know this?
Oh my God. I feel like I talk about this every chance I get. I'm related to her.
How? Explain this again.
Okay, my cousin Elsie, friend of the pod, Avi. She's probably our number one supporter. She's always got that plan. Her uncle's aunt is Gwen Shamblin.
Okay, maybe you did tell me this.
So
okay, so like you're related.
I'm related to
marriage.
Through marriage, not by blood, thank God. But
that is crazy.
It's a little too close for comfort.
Maybe you did tell me this, because I feel like, did you tell my dad when we were talking about it?
Yeah.
Okay, that's probably the last time I heard about
That's
it.
like that
I
is
completely forgot.
That is the big reason why I'm like, I need to know everything about her. But I'm not related through blood, but through marriage, it's a little too close. A little too close.
Lucy is related to a cult member.
I'm related to a cult leader.
Yeah, literally.
But yeah.
That's crazy.
It's terrifying when you think about how big this all got, and I'm like, I cannot fathom the fact that I'm related to her. However, she has not talked to that part of the family since she was very, very young. Like, Elsie's uncle like never really even knew her. Just because she like kind of disconnected from her whole family and what she grew up on. Anyways,
so if it's Elsie's uncle, Gwen Shamblin was his aunt.
Yes.
That means she was his sister? His mom's sister, sorry?
Yeah.
Or dad's?
Yes.
Do we know if Elsie's uncle's parents are still alive? Because we should talk to them.
I don't know, but hey, I'll look into that. That would be super cool.
Oh, that would be so cool. Okay, sorry, that was a side thought.
No, that's a good idea. Anyways.
Or even like the uncle if he knows anything. Okay.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Okay. So, feeling a little too close to this story, and let me talk about Miss Gwendolyn Henley Shamblin Lara. That's her full name. It's a hefty one.
That.
Thank you.
You killed that.
She was born February 18th. So, we just passed her birthday, 1955. So she's like our grandparents' generation. I'll go ahead and tell you, actually, I'm going to save that as a little surprise, a little treat for the end. She was originally a dietitian. So she went to the University of Tennessee in Knoxville. And she grew up.
I know so many people who go there right now.
I know. She was born in Memphis. She grew up in Tennessee. She graduated with an undergraduate degree in food and nutrition. She was a registered dietitian, which terrifies me thinking like looking ahead from what I know. It just terrifies me that she was a licensed dietitian.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
She was a faculty. Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I'm terrible.
That's okay.
I just love commentating on things. If I went to see a dietitian and this woman walked in the door, I am leaving. Okay?
Immediately out of here.
Take one look at her.
Girl, with that hair, no, I'm not taking advice from you.
With that hair and like she's clearly so unhealthy. Like, yeah. Absolutely not.
Emaciated body. Like, no thanks. That's not why I'm here. So she worked as a faculty member for Memphis State University, and she worked in Tennessee's Department of Health for 5 years, which is crazy.
That should not be allowed.
Crazy. But she is most known for her Way Down workshop. So
I'm so excited.
She grew up in the Church of Christ, and very, very, very conservative tradition. Church of Christ it's very prominent in the South. That's what I grew up in, and it is one of the most conservative branches of Christianity. And so she grew up deep in that life. I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure her dad was like pretty high up in their church, either like a pastor or something, worked for, I don't know, deacon or something. So she grew up. Amelia's mic is not working.
We're back.
Okay, never mind. She's back.
Is she... Wait. Is Preacher's Daughter by Ethel Cain about Gwen Shamblin?
Oh my god. Gwen Shamblin is Ethel Cain.
Whoa.
These scars all over my body.
Do I make you feel sick?
Anyways, she's most known for creating the Way Down workshop. She kind of separated from her family when she started this because, if you don't know, the Church of Christ tradition is very against like women speaking and women having authority over men in the church. And so when she started the Way Down workshop, she got a lot of like lashback. Is that what it's called? Lashback?
Yeah. This was in like the 80s or 90s too, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And
I think it was
90s, early 2000s. And so she ended up kind of separating from the Church of Christ, but she still held very, very conservative values. And I would really suggest watching The Way Down on HBO Max, because it really... Oh, okay. I'm looking at her Wikipedia. She is not played by Sarah Paulson in the movie. Okay. There is a movie called Starving for Salvation that also kind of portrays her, but the documentary series is more recent and probably more truthful.
Okay. The documentary came after a very pivotal part in the story too.
Yeah, it came out 2021. So this is a little bit about her backstory. Just keep in mind how she was raised. And I'm going to talk about the Way Down workshop, which was something that actually a lot of people did. If you grew up in the South, you probably know someone who did the Way Down workshop. There were these books you could buy, and it was essentially losing weight in a Christian way, or like... Essentially, I don't really even know how it works because I haven't looked at the books, but it was like every time she was trying to use the Bible to teach losing weight. And
so I know that this is your episode, but I did do a thing.
Okay, go ahead.
I am looking at one of the books right now.
Okay, you want to read some excerpts? Can I finish saying this one thing though? It was...
Yes, I can read it at the end, too. I just want to let you know. I did find it.
It was very centered around... Yeah. It was very centered around, like, if you're starting to feel a craving for food, turn to God instead. Very, like, vague ideas like that. But what drew people in is that she claimed you could eat whatever you want and still lose a bunch of weight, which was true. The whole book is just portion control. So she didn't invent the idea. She was just using portion control and backing it up with the Bible. I know my grandparents did the Way Down workshop. I had neighbors who did the Way Down workshop. I even had neighbors who went to the church that Gwen Shamblin started, which is terrifying. But do you want to read? Do you see anything that stands out?
I do. So this is just the introduction. And again, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to steal your thunder.
No,
I
it's
just
our
yesterday
podcast,
I was thinking
girl.
about it. I was like, what if I can get one of these books? So I just have an excerpt because I'm logged in through the Nashville Public Library still on Libby, and they actually don't have the book.
Good.
There is an excerpt on here.
Ooh, good.
It's called The Way Down Diet, and this is just the introduction. I'll just read a little bit. It says, welcome. You are about to embark on a unique program of weight reduction called the Way Down. And then there's a little cross right next to the Way Down. Every time the Way Down is mentioned, there's a little like slanted cross, which is really funny to me. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's like also, the logo. It's like TM.
Yeah. Also, Way is WEIGH.
Yeah. Oh, and it's also important to note the documentary series is WAY.
Yes.
That's what it's called.
That
but
makes
the
sense
book,
later.
The book is WEIGH.
Yes. This book gives you the major concepts of what is being taught in video and audio form in the Way Down workshop cross seminars across the country. Way Down cross seminars are held in over 10,000 locations throughout the United States, Canada, and Europe, and are all held in churches of all denominations. I don't know if that's true. The all denominations part.
Yeah, it was separated from Church of Christ, so I wouldn't be surprised if it was all denominations, but it was like, I don't think I realized this until like more recently, but like it was very, very, very popular, very widespread.
It was. And then it says, we have entitled this book The Way Down Diet, but don't let the use of the word diet mislead you. The dictionary offers two definitions of the word diet. The first is the food and drink regularly consumed. Another meaning is to eat according to prescribed rules. We want to assure you that the Way Down diet is founded on the complete freedom found in the first definition. Way Down cross is showing people on a daily basis how our God can transform their hearts and minds so that they can rise above the magnetic pull of the refrigerator! ! Instead of emphasizing the caloric content of food, the Way Down workshop cross encourages you to focus on your natural internal hunger control, but more importantly, your focus will be trained to turn toward the will of God as it relates to food! Again. Studies show that we are fatter than ever, and it seems that the more weight obsessed we are, the less we lose, and the more we revile the pudgy, the plump, the rotund, the fat, and the morbidly obese. The billion-dollar weight loss industry is a dizzying carousel of promises hardly ever fulfilled. Years of restrictive dieting have only strengthened the change of slavery to food. Wow.
Whoa.
Years of focusing on food and giving all our boredom, distress, and troubles to the pan of brownies have only increased our stress. Dieting has drained us emotionally, if not financially, and has exacerbated rather than solved our problems. Into this vortex comes the Way Down workshop, cross, which can offer up testimonials as enthusiastic as anything television weight loss gurus or liquid fasts ever produced. The inspiring sagas of women and men and children who lost 20, 50, 180 pounds and counting.
That is crazy to implement with growing children. Not chill. That's a little taste of what you'd get in the Way Down workshop.
She uses the magnetic pull of the refrigerator multiple times.
Yeah, and I remember there's one specific quote where she's like, we need to stop bowing down to the refrigerator and bow down to Jesus, which crazy. And
this quote is crazy too. It says, this book emphasizes God's power, not willpower. So the whole workshop is essentially like, you having willpower and having your own self-control won't help you. You need God. That's what I'm getting from it.
And God wants you to lose weight.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. But this was introduced in the 1980s, so understandable.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it drew a lot of people in because you didn't have to cut out foods that you didn't like, or you didn't have to exercise necessarily. That's kind of like what she said in a few of the recordings in the documentary. So naturally, I mean, if you have grown up in the South and you're a hardcore Christian and it's the 80s and everyone's super fat phobic, of course you're going to want to try it out. Of course you're going to be like, oh, let me see what this is all about.
And I will say that's essentially what Weight Watchers is. It's all about portion control. You don't have to eat certain foods. You can eat whatever you want. Just like each food has a specific number of points, and those are like determined in different ways. Yeah. And I did do Weight Watchers for a minute, not my proudest moment, but I was eating fine. Like, I could eat. It was just like it made you focus on what you were eating. Like if you were hungry and you didn't have a lot of points left, like go find a 0-point food or something like that. Yeah. And it did work. I don't really condone dieting at all.
No, and also,
it wasn't
like,
great for me.
I'm a firm believer that dieting is not good for us. Like, we don't need to be thinking about food that much, you know?
No.
Yeah. And obviously, like, talking like this is so triggering for so many people. I just don't think it's healthy ever.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy that she was like, we're taking the focus off of food and onto God, when she's talking about food this entire freaking documentary. Like,
literally the magnetic pull of the refrigerator.
Like, come on.
Makes it sound sinful.
Yeah. And that was her point. Like, she focuses a lot on greed and gluttony, and it's like,
yeah.
Dude, what are you doing?
We gotta eat.
Like sorry, we gotta eat, and sorry I'm eating. Like, sorry I'm serving and eating. And
sorry you can't eat for anything.
Yeah. So essentially, the program was offered in about 600 churches about 15 years after it started. Then it kept growing and kept growing, and eventually she started holding these, like, what would they be called? Like, get-togethers every summer, like little what would that
retreats.
be called? Yeah, like retreats every summer, until eventually she started her own church called Remnant Fellowship, which is in Franklin, Tennessee. Very, very close. Very, very close.
Driven past it.
Yeah, we've driven by it many times. I've had friends who worked right by it.
We know people who went there for a minute, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Some of my neighbors went there, which is terrifying.
It makes sense, but we'll talk about that.
It does make sense.
off air.
Off air. Yeah, no, it's very scary. And what's really scary to me is, like, if you drive past it, it is so eerie looking. Like, the building is this classic, like, church, like white brick, but there's, like, no greenery around it, and it's a pretty big area. Like, it's a pretty big piece of land. There's no greenery. There's, like, it's just very dry, and, like, I don't know, it's very eerie to me. If you watch the documentary, like, the shots they show of that building is really scary, and it
also sorry.
Yeah, no.
It always seemed super abandoned.
Yes, it always looks super abandoned.
Which, again, makes sense now, but
yeah,
I don't know if I had ever seen people there. Like, it was really weird.
Yeah, and I don't know how true this is, but I had a friend who worked like, in the area, not at Remnant, but, like, in a building next to it, and said that he would hear like, them playing ambient sounds of children playing at night.
I remember you telling me
to make
that.
it seem, I don't know, less abandoned, because it's very eerily quiet over there. And everyone who goes to that church kind of lives in the same neighborhood. It's very, very exclusive, secretive community.
And rich. This is, like, upper class white.
Absolutely.
Like, yeah.
Upper class white, privileged people who grew up in conservative Christian households. So, Remnant Fellowship Church, which is still going on today. You can still visit today. I would not visit today. It kind of turned into one of those mega churches almost. They've introduced a ton of electronics and cool things into all their services. They would broadcast their services. But
if you guys want to donate to the podcast, Venmo me enough money for a plane ticket, and I will fly to Nashville this summer, and we will go to Remnant Church for research.
We'll take a little visit to Remnant Church. We'll be insiders. That would
My
actually
Venmo
be
is Amelia-Toad.
That would be so terrifying. We come in and they're like a little wary of us. I'm like, no, guys, come on. I'm related to Gwennie. Like, why? I just want to learn. Come on. No.
I gotta study up in case they try to, like, test me.
I know. You gotta.
I would fail.
Hit the books. Hit the books.
Oh, yeah. Hit the book. The book. Guys. I gotta hit the book.
So, let me see where I am in this story. Okay, so I'm going to kind of talk about how, because, okay, all of this on the surface, it still seems like, I don't know, similar to Weight Watchers. It's like, yeah, is it unhealthy to think about food that much? Is it unhealthy to kind of link that to shame and guilt? Yes, but what are they doing wrong? How are they being accused of a cult? That's where the documentary comes in. You kind of get a look into what's actually going on in there and why they're so secretive. The Way Down follows several ex-members who kind of share like horrific experiences of just how they were shamed for what they looked like in the church, and just like the way that Gwen Shamblin talked, because like a big thing about cults is their leaders being very charismatic and very convincing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
She was very much that. And it always like confused me, because if you look at what she believes, it is very still Church of Christ centered. She doesn't believe that women should be leading, although she is leading. It seems like she's the exception to that rule. And they kind of show that in the documentary. They have like a tier list, and they're like female and children members of the church are at the bottom, and then it's like the men of the church, and then the leaders who are all men, and then Gwen's above them all, and then God.
Yeah.
That's how that hierarchy went, which is so strange to me. However, I don't know. I feel like cult leaders are usually a little bit hypocritical anyways, but
yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. The first thing that kind of caught my attention when watching this documentary, obviously there's a lot that catches your attention, was their treatment of children. Mm-hmm. So this is really scary. However, I'm going to talk about it. So obviously restricting growing children's diets, not okay. Could have very serious side effects in the future. That's already rule number one, like red flag number one. Let's see, when was this? In 2003, Joseph and Sonia Smith were charged with the murder of their child. They were a part of Remnant Fellowship, and there had been signs of the way that they were disciplining him. They would beat him a lot, and they would beat him with foot-long glue sticks, belts, and heated coat.
Wait. Glue sticks?
Yeah, like, the, like, hot glue sticks?
Yeah.
That are really long? Those can do some, like, serious damage if you're, like,
that would hurt.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Belts and heated coat hangers.
I envisioned like Elmer's glue sticks.
It's really just throwing glue sticks at you.
This is such a dark story, and all I could see was like the purple glue stick.
No. So apparently there were so many signs. He had so many bruises. They had been hitting him like that. And when they were kind of confronted about it, they said, that's what Gwen Shamblin told us to do. That's what Gwen said God had told her what we would do to children to keep them obedient and submissive. And so Gwen was all about like the part in the Bible where it's like respect your elders, respect your parents, obey your parents. And essentially this was the ideas she proposed to a lot of couples in the church for how to handle their quote unquote like crazy or disobedient children when it's just children. That's just how children act, It's not their fault they can't sit through a 3-hour long service. No children can sit still that long. So she would kind of act as like the church's therapist and kind of like do couple counseling and give like just crazy advice on what to do in marriage and what to do in with children and disciplining children. And so
I would like to go to couples counseling with Gwennie Shamblin.
Would you?
For the plot.
Because she would tell you to stay with...
Oh my God, that would be...
She would tell you to stay with a husband that raped you. She would...
Oh, yeah. Just kidding. Oh my God.
Yeah.
No.
Oh yeah. She's awful. Like this, it's terrifying that this was happening like 15 minutes away from where I grew up. And
yeah, that's insane. I didn't realize... Oh my God. I didn't realize it was that intense.
Oh, yeah. And so she's the one who told this couple to hit Joseph whenever he was acting out. Joseph is the little kid. He was 8 years old when he died. And part of the reason was because they would lock him in like very tiny spaces with his hands tied for a long amount of time. There was one time when the police found that they had locked Joseph in his room with nothing but a Bible and a picture of Jesus for days. No food, no water, wouldn't let him out for the bathroom. They just locked him in the room with a Bible for days. An 8-year-old? Like, that is
crazy.
That it is
what
crazy.
What do they think that's gonna do?
I don't know, but it like, just got him.
Also, how's he gonna know the Bible if you're locking him in a dark room where he can't read and can't turn the pages? Like,
yeah.
You know, like, what is the point of that? That's so bizarre.
Yeah. So Joseph, the 8-year-old, died because his head was hit too hard when they were locking him into like a chest. And acute and chronic abuse was what the examiners concluded. And it's crazy because another child in the family had already died 11 weeks before from some kind of sickness, but they also like suspected maltreatment of that child as well, which is so crazy. I just like, I don't know. It's just horrific.
So wait, do we know, so these parents that were eventually like caught and like taken in for their children's death, like did they serve sentences or did they get out?
Yes, they both went to jail. They both went to jail. So thankful.
Again, we're talking about rich white South and
and you'll see
the
this
police. I was like fully expecting them to be living in Green Hills, you know.
There are instances that they'll talk about this in the documentary where Shamblin and her church paid for legal defense for so many adults, and so many of them got off. And this is just like...
Do we know where that money is coming from? That's a plot point later, right?
I mean, she like, you have to understand, like, she came from a rich white family, but also, like, the Way Down Workshop was being sold and taught everywhere. Like,
okay, so she was just making a lot of money.
She made a lot of money off of this.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, this is just a couple who was caught, you know? So many other people got let off the hook because of Gwen Shamblin and her money and her secretiveness. I don't know.
Yeah.
But that part was, like, the scariest to me in the documentary. Just, like, I don't know. I just hate hearing about kids being abused, but it feels like they always are in cults.
It's awful.
So another part that really like threw me off. So Gwen taught against divorce, obviously, because she's conservative Christian. But she divorced her husband, David Shamblin, in 2018, I think, because she met Joe Lara.
Oh,
and I don't know if
she met the new guy before she got a divorce.
Yeah, I don't know if you know Joe Lara, but he was an actor and he played Tarzan in like the he played Tarzan in the live action Tarzan movies. Apparently he like was never Christian, did not grow up religious, was like super like
American actor and martial artist.
Yeah, literally complete opposite of Gwen Shamblin.
She is so scary looking.
I know she is. Amelia, I'm telling you, you have to watch this documentary because the way he comes into her life is so like it does not make any sense because he has never. I'm gonna
start it tonight.
He has never been religious. He just like you talk to an ex-girlfriend of his, and she is like super cool, super chill, super left leaning, and was like he has never been like this. These are not his values. Like honestly, I feel like
I am gonna watch it. I'm gonna start it tonight because this is crazy.
It is crazy because honestly, I feel like I don't know. I think he just wanted power and / was a gold digger, and so he married Gwen Shamblin. And you never really hear from David, her first husband. You never really hear from him again because he was kind of just thrown off to the sides. And I think a theory that some people have in the documentary is that, like, I mean, she was trying to keep up appearances. She had 2 like beautiful shining children. She was like getting her hair done, I guess. She was like, I need a young spry leader for a husband. So
I have such a good idea. Okay, so if you guys fund this trip for me to go to Nashville, we will go to Reunite for research. We will also go visit Gwen Shamblin's hairdresser.
We'll also get it done. Did you know?
Yeah.
That's all of her. No, that's all her hair. There is no extension, nothing. It's all her hair. I'm like, girl, you weren't eating anything. How did you have hair?
Big hair was a style in the 80s, but that's not even like 80s big hair. I don't even know what that is.
And in the 80s, she didn't have big hair. She had a normal hairstyle, and it just kept growing over the years, which is insane. So essentially in the documentary, it's really sad because it talks about, ex-members and how they were treated. And it does focus a lot on these 2 parents who lost their child to the cult. She's still alive, but these 2 parents, they were never involved, but she met this guy who was a part of Remnant, and he completely brainwashed her, and she's still in the cult today. And these parents are just talking about how, like, we've completely lost our daughter. She does not trust us. She will not talk to us anymore, which is so scary. I think terrifying. I think the father's opening line was like, you always tell your child to watch out for strangers or watch out for this, but you never tell them to watch out for cult. It was really just very scary. But something that got me thinking about this which is why I wanted to do this podcast is because before I came to Belfast, I was working in Ginny's, and this girl, she could not have been older than 9, and her dad came in and she was wearing a way down sweatshirt to Ginny's.
Crazy.
And like I could not serve them. I had to get someone else to serve them because I like could not fathom how that father could let her be a part of that. I don't know. It was just really scary. It's just scary that it's still going on today. Anyways, I'm going to kind of speed through the rest of this. There's just like a bunch of horrific things that happen, and it's just very clear that Gwen Shamblin is just so controlling and crazy. So while they were filming the documentary, everything was still going as normal, and they were kind of just trying to get, I don't know, just a documentary on this. But while they were filming, a plane crash happened, and
this is my favorite.
And 5 leaders of the cult died in the plane crash. They were on their way to a Trump rally in Florida. And Joe Lara, Gwen Shamblin's new hubby. He had a plane license, but it was expired, and he was trying to fly a plane that he didn't really know anything about, and so it crashed into Percy Priest Lake, and they all died. Joe Lara, Gwen Shamblin, R.I.P. Gwennie.
They all died, and I would also like to mention I did summer camp at Percy Priest Lake.
I would also like to mention I had my day on the lake the day after they crashed with my family. Really? Yeah, the day after they crashed with my family, we went out on the lake, and I heard whispers about it. I was like, what's going on? And my little cousin was like, oh, the cult leaders died on this lake yesterday. Did you not know that? I was like, and I literally was like, what cult? And that's how I kind of got like interested in it. But that's crazy for something like that to happen while they're filming the documentary.
Yeah. I didn't realize they were already filming the documentary when she was alive. I thought they filmed after.
No, they were filming it while she was alive, and they tried to get like comments from her, and she wouldn't say anything.
Wow.
Her daughter is still alive, and I just found a news article that came out.
I did too.
5 days ago, saying that she's ready
I just found it too.
That she's ready to expand and she's ready to grow Remnant Fellowship, which is so terrifying.
I just found that. I was looking up like her kids, and
please look up Gwen Shamlin's daughter. She is terrifying. She's the most emaciated, terrifying shell of a person I've ever seen. And this is a leaked recording that the news in Nashville found, and she says, you'll be lifted up if you follow this example, if you followed my mother and follow me as I followed her. That's her talking to her church.
What is going on? That is crazy.
Yeah, it's really scary. So I consider that a sign. If all of your leaders of your cult die, there's something going on there. There's a higher power trying to tear down that cult.
My mom was when she first told me this whole story, she told me about the plane crash part, and I said, now that's God's plan.
Yeah, God's plan.
It's really dark. I'm aware of how dark it is.
No, I totally agree with you. Like, if there's proof
so
of a God, it's that he destroyed those cult leaders.
Imagine being a part of this cult and following these leaders, and all of a sudden they randomly all die in a random plane crash.
At the same time.
On the way to a Trump rally.
Yeah.
God is a woman, and she was trying to save you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. I really, really, really would suggest watching the documentary because it follows some smaller stories within the cult, and it just adds to the overall eeriness. Like, it is crazy, and I'm sure there's stuff that I've forgotten because I watched it quite a while ago. But yeah, like, please, please, please watch it. It is so wild, and I cannot believe I'm related to her.
I forgot about that part of it.
Yeah.
That is so...
I think the most unsettling thing is how Joe Lara got involved with any of this, because he'd always been pretty democratic, pretty like wild, not at all what he like.
The man had sinned.
He sinned. Let's just say the man had sinned. Yeah,
that's crazy.
It's so wild. And I'll take any excuse to talk about it.
Yeah.
But.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think watch the documentary.
I think you should watch it, and maybe we could talk about it next time at a little bit before we start, because that would be so fun.
Absolutely. Yeah. No,
Everyone listening,
I heard about this story.
This is your homework. Watch it, please.
Yes. It's like 5 episodes too, right? Like,
yeah, it's pretty short.
No, I remember when I first heard this story, my mom, like, one of her friends, I lived in New Hampshire at the time. My family still lived in Nashville, but one of my mom's friends came over and, like, told them they had to watch this documentary, and so the two of them just sat and stayed up like all night watching the whole thing. And I got a call somewhere in the middle of it. My mom was like, "Did you know about any of this?" Because we didn't know about any of it.
No, it was so,
that's not
so...
our sphere. That's not like our realm of life or whatever. So like we just had no idea any of this had happened.
The way like when I found out about this, I like went to my parents and I'm like, guys, how have we not been talking about, like, this is going on right next to us? And they were like, we knew about it. Like, your grandparents did that program. And I was like,
yeah.
No.
Do they go to that church?
No. They
go to Church of Christ, though, right?
They do, yeah.
Okay.
But they never did the remnant stuff because they're too conservative for broadcasting and live music.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That is crazy.
I know, it's crazy.
What? They won't go to a concert? They think a concert is sinful?
No, just they don't want it brought into church.
That's okay. What about Christian music?
I've got my gripes. No, they think Christian music should be a cappella solely.
What? Have they heard a cappella Christian singers? That should not be Christian music. That is the complete opposite of what Christian music should be. Oh my God.
Crazy.
Oh, that was so good. Thank you for bringing this story to us.
Yeah, of course. I'm happy to talk about it anytime. And if we want to like ever go into like the smaller stories, because I was really interested in the story of the parents who their daughter like met someone who completely brainwashed her into being into it. Like,
yeah, we should talk about that.
It's a wild story. Like, it's really, really interesting.
Also, she would technically be like your aunt once removed and also dead. Or your great aunt once removed. Something like that. Great aunt once removed and in the ground. Well, or the lake. Sorry,
in the lake. Well,
did they ever find them?
No, it like completely blew up.
Okay, what if they're still alive?
No, they're not. Please don't tell me that. No, they like.
What if
the plane?
They're gonna track us down after this.
The plane was not in one piece. Like it completely blew up. Yeah. But they did find human remains.
That's crazy.
Wild. Yeah, every time I had to go to Percy Priest, I'm like, let's catch up, Gwennie. Come on, tell me what's been going on with you.
It's like that dumb book I talked about on here with the lake, where like the soul was in the lake.
Yes, I forgot about that.
Is Gwennie's soul in the lake?
No, no. I've only had happy times on that lake.
Is Gwen? No, conspiracy. What if Joe Lara did it all on purpose? What if he realized everything that was happening?
I don't think so. Into it? Because, well, you'll figure this out when you watch the documentary. Joe Lara has a kid with another woman from before Gwen Shamblin, and this other woman is trying to get full custody of her child because she's scared of her child being in the cult.
Gotcha.
And that is also a really, really interesting story, because if you think about how much money Gwen and Joe had and how often they used it to get people out of legal situations, this mother had no money, and she completely taught herself everything about law and was trying to win the custody of her daughter single-handedly. It's actually really inspiring. It's like it was
the will of mothers.
The will of a mother is crazy, and it's really sad, but it's real. It ends well. So because
I'm very excited.
Oh my God, Amelia, because her daughter was supposed to be on the plane that blew up, but for some reason her daughter didn't make it on last second.
That is amazing.
I'm like, come on.
Wow.
You can't tell me that was not fate. You cannot tell me that was not fate. But yeah.
You guys, this is so cool. I mean, obviously it's not cool, but you know what I mean.
It's very, very interesting what humans...
Yeah.
Yeah, crazy.
That's crazy.
Well, thanks for listening.
I'm so glad we talked about it.
I know, me too. I hope you guys enjoyed.
So much. I feel like I do that every time you tell a story.
I love your input.
It's easier when we're on FaceTime too. FaceTime doesn't work while Lucy is overseas.
Unfortunately.
And it's easier I can like raise my hand and you can just be like, what do you want? But like now I have no option but to just start yapping.
That's totally fine.
Yeah, that's how our normal conversations
we're yappers.
Remember that one episode? Remember that one episode that we could not edit for the life of us because we were talking over each other so much it was impossible to tell
we thought
it was actually lined up?
Yeah, we thought it was off, and then I was like, no, we literally just aren't listening to each other. We're just talking over each other.
Was that the Ethel Kane episode?
Maybe. I don't remember.
I remember like getting up early when I was in Westfield one time and like sitting and trying to fix it, and it took me like 2 hours. Like it took me so long because I don't know what we did.
We're gonna have that trouble with this one too, with the
that's okay,
the mic cut out, but it'll be all right.
It's okay, we'll figure it out. I can do it if you want.
All right.
I have time tonight, but all right guys, I'm so excited.
We'll see you guys soon for
and the week after.
Good things, big things coming, guys. Big things coming.
Yeah. I'm so excited. I don't know how long my episode is going to be, honestly. Like, I'm starting to compile information, and, like, it might have to be a two-parter.
That's okay.
Did we ever finish the FNAF lore?
No, we didn't, and I'm happy to continue.
Oh, hell yeah. All right, let's add that, too. We have so many episodes planned. I'm so excited. Babel is not dead. We are here.
Babel
and we will
is not dead.
We will somehow find a way to somehow grow our audience.
Yeah, we'll do it
thank you
eventually.
To the 16.
We got ads before.
The 16 that show up.
We can do it again.
We'll do it. We'll get them.
Yeah.
And we'll get people, and it's fine.
Yeah.
If anyone, like, wants to sponsor us or anything, we will do ad reads for you.
Hey, Amelia already said her Venmo. Like, come on.
Yeah. No, I'm serious. I mean, I'm getting a lot of inspiration from the other podcasts I've been listening to, but literally, if you guys Venmo us, we will use it for the podcast.
Yeah.
We will do fun things. I really want to do merch. I feel like we're not big enough yet.
Not quite.
I feel like
we have to stick with it a little longer.
I do feel like our very small audience right now would all willingly buy merch, but like, what's the point if no one knows? So, you know, donate if you want us to do fun, cool things and go get inducted into a cult with big hair. Yeah.
And we need to figure out what we're going to do for our 1 year anniversary episode. That would be fun. We have to do something fun for that. Oh my
gosh, wait, that's June 1st, right?
I think, yeah. It's closer than I thought. We've been doing it for a long time.
Yeah, we have to figure out what to do. Because if I go to Iceland, it's the week before. Okay, we'll have to plan.
We'll plan ahead.
Maybe you could come see me in Iceland. Okay, pause. Okay.
Put that on the back burner. Thank you for listening.
Yeah, all right. We'll discuss. Love you guys. Thank you for listening.
Bye. Love and kisses.
Bye.